I'm like, you are.
So much
You definitely are, honey.
Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is the this month is still considered Women's History Month,
Yes.
and this episode, uh, Women's History Month is about honoring and celebrating women uh, through history, through culture, through society. But today we chose to honor a woman and celebrate her struggles and her triumphs. So I give you the one of the first ladies, Shante Sharif. Yay!
Yay!
So Shante is going to tell her story. I believe that her story is worth telling sooner rather than later. So today is not about putting her on a hot seat, but allowing her to empower others through her story and through her journey. So without further ado, we got Shante Cherie. Yay!
Okay, so part of our show today is going to be about dating. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a little of my dating life. Now, but so you know that I was married, and I was married for a long time, 23 years. So so kind of my story to kind of back that up to how I got to and made it through this 23. I was young when I met my husband. I was 17. Our best friends were married, and my friend Tina, God rest her soul, was like, I want you to meet somebody. And me being 17, I'm like, okay. She's older than me. And so I'm like, okay, sure. So I actually met my husband right here on Fort Lewis, or JBLM, as you all know it now. Um, and it wasn't like a love at first sight, you know. First of all, if any of you know my background, I did not even date black guys until really I met my husband. Um, so I meet I meet him, and our first meeting was not a good one. He drove this big, huge car with the loud music and just like the whole 9 yards. And so we are at Fort Lewis at the dining facility, and he is coming down the street, and he turns the corner, and he literally falls out the car. Right, the door was not latched all the way, and so he falls out the car, and you see him running running down the street to get back in this car. And he was like one of those guys that leaned, back in the 90s. That was in the late 90s. That was a thing. So it's like, he's leaning in the car. You can only see like the very top part of his hat, and so on and so forth. So he, pulls up, and back then my niece hung with me really tough, and she was only 2 years old. She was 2 years old. So I took her basically with me everywhere. So I have my niece with me, and he is asking me if this is my daughter. Absolutely not. So I was like, how could you ever? You know? So, and he's like, well, come here, little girl, whatever. And I'm like, she doesn't go to anybody, but she went to him. And that's what kind of turned my mindset of, okay, maybe this is somebody that I can mess with. Right? We go on a date, a group date, mind you. So it was a lot of the guys in his unit. Tina, of course, is there, and his bestie is there. And so we go and see scary movie, not his thing, right? Mine, I love them. Horror, I'm with it. So he kisses me, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. And so we ended up having a friendship before we really started quote unquote dating, right? We hung out, we all hung out together. It was never really like you're my girlfriend type thing at first. So we start dating and exclusively dating. I am still in high school, mind y'all, right? He had to get permission from my mother and that whole 9 yards. And 2 years later, we are married. 2 years. So I go ahead, baby.
So wait a minute. He technically began courting you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing. All right.
Okay.
What was the age difference?
So he was 21 when I was 17.
Ooh.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He needed to have permission from my mother for
Hold
us
on,
to date.
We
Go
have
ahead.
to say hello to Kia. Hi, Kia.
Hi,
Hi, Jesse. All right. Now,
I love Kia.
if by definition of standards, technically your husband at the time did things, if we want to say, the right way. He began to see you in a group setting.
Right.
Then, he began to try to befriend you.
Right.
Then he, went and asked your parents to court you. Maybe
Right.
you guys didn't have
Basically,
chaperone
yes.
dates, but nonetheless, long story short, bam, there you are, exclusive.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what's up.
So
check and check.
Right.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks, Chad. So in 1998, I graduated high school, got married, and had a baby all in the same.
You was busy.
Yeah, because she was doing the most.
Oh,
I'm just saying, yeah, all in the same year.
Well, he figured he checked his boxes.
Yeah, so it went
Hey.
from dating to courting, or meeting to courting to dating. I think that's the right order. Let me know if I'm wrong. To marriage, till we got married. We had Devin first, and then Davion second. So both of my boys, and our first year of marriage, he was overseas, so we never got to do the nesting stage. Us being in the same space,
Yes.
which I think really hurt us because it was so everything was like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
It's just like graduated high school, we got married, he left, and then I had my baby at the end of that year.
And
so,
you were young.
And I was young. I was 19. What the hell did I know about being married and having a baby?
And
at
an
all.
absentee husband.
Right, and having a whole husband. So, we had our issues in that year, of course, because we're apart, and we didn't know how to be together. Really, didn't even learn how to be together until years later. So, being in the same space and being able to tolerate our qualms, right? Because everybody has their thing, their routine, if you will. So it's like we had to kind of date all over again,
Right.
Get to
know him.
pretty much, yeah. So when he came back, it was just getting to know
Right.
each other really all over again. We had those couple of years dating, but it was just us. We got a whole other human now in the
Different
in the
roles.
circle.
No,
Yeah.
know you as
Yeah,
a
so
wife,
now we're
you as a
yeah,
mother.
I'm mom
Exactly right.
now. I'm
Yeah,
mom, I'm
right.
wife. Homemaker because it didn't work.
Trust.
Then.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry for the hiccups. And so now 23 years later, we are now ending this part of life, and I am re-entering now this whole dating situation. And it's totally different from when we did it back then. It was very organic, the way that we met, and we're able to hang out and have those people to bounce stuff off of, right? He had his best friend who was dating my best friend. And so if we had like any type of issue, which we really didn't, back then, what issues do you have when you're really 17, 18?
No responsibility.
None, no responsibility.
So
That-
you would say that kind of aided into you guys becoming, so close and becoming an idol.
It did
best
because
friends,
the situations
became couples.
that we were in were more familial.
Mhm.
It was a lot of family. I mean,
Right.
I grew up with her and her family, who are, if you guys know any Pacific Islander families, they accept you in,
Mhm.
wholeheartedly. And then, of course, my
Oh, my
family
good friend Katie,
accepted him in, wholeheartedly. So it's like we had a lot of family dynamic already built into our life.
And support.
A lot of support from all ends. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, but we have Kia. She says that what she says. She says that age difference was very common in the 90s in regards to military men.
Yes.
So, he was, what she say, 21
He was
at that
21,
time.
yeah.
And 17, you were in high school.
Yeah.
You were on the later end, maybe senior, maybe
Yeah.
coming
Junior,
out.
yes.
Junior, I agree with her.
Yeah.
So, some may have saw things differently, but a lot of people may have felt, one way. Do you feel like, that may have pushed you one way or another, him being, having a professional career, or, as opposed to?
I don't think so. I don't think back then I just really didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah,
I
I don't think you really like think of that. Like when you're 17 and
Yeah, you
back
don't.
then,
Now that would be like, okay, what's your
yeah,
401k looking like?
You
Yeah.
know, you need to see
How are you
six
invested
figures,
in your career? Yeah.
But 17, you're like, what kind of car you drive? You
Am I
Right.
having fun?
What
Right.
type of sneaks you wearing?
Definitely.
What I mean?
Yeah, what are you rocking as far as clothes and stuff like that? You don't think of,
Yes.
as they say, as your big picture.
Yes.
It wasn't a big picture thought. It was a right then and there
Yes.
type of thing. So it wasn't really, he's in the military. Is this going to be a career for him? Is he going to re-enlist? Is he going to retire out? I never thought about any
No
of that.
forward thinking.
No, right.
And
Not at 17.
No.
I was more about let's have fun.
This weekend.
Right.
This weekend.
Right. What are we doing this weekend? Are you picking me up from school? Stuff like that. This is what you think of when you're 17. Are you picking me up from school? And he did almost every day. After we started our dating part, it was he picked me up from school every day. He dropped me off. We hung out on the weekends. It was like we would just get in the car and cruise, drive everywhere. Stuff like that was it. That was our thing. That was just something that we did. Going to the movies or, going out to eat or, just little small things like that was our core, was our center. So we did stuff as a family, with our friends and my family, which is here. And then, of course, we were always around Tina and Nick because those were our best friends and her family. And so it was, we had our things with them, but we had our things just us, stuff that we did just us. So now in this new realm that I am in, I am still learning the whole dating part. Trying to know what my role is in this whole
Just meeting
dating
people
thing.
is
And
different.
it is very different. It's kind of, I don't know. It's
Well,
just different.
It's especially because it's at the end of the pandemic, right?
Right. So now we
how
come
do you-
outside.
How do you organically meet somebody when all the virtual, the social
Everything is
media,
virtual.
the virtual,
Yeah.
there's no, and then we couldn't go anywhere public to organically meet
Right.
somebody. And your mutual friends is the 200 mutual friends on,
Social
Facebook.
media. Right.
You
So
know,
everything is
and then you have everything is so instant, the instant gratification. And then they get to know you through social media
Right.
without actually getting
to know you. Right.
And it's just so more accepted to date so many people at once. So the courtship's not really there. It's more of a hookup, right? You got that Tinder and all
I
the
don't know nothing
bumblebee
about
or something, and then
I don't know what none of that is.
you know,
Look, I'm like, I've heard of Tinder,
the
but I don't
fish
know what.
thing or
Yeah.
what
What
are
is
they
it called? Plenty of fish.
Okay,
Plenty of
yes.
fish. That's what's
So
called.
you know,
Yeah.
so the you're just so quick, and it's not so much about the quality anymore. It's
Yeah.
about the quantity.
Yeah.
And
Swipe right,
if you
swipe
don't
left.
if you don't respond like right away, then people get bored and they move on. And now it's everybody wants 50-50, but it's not 50-50.
Right.
You know, it's 100 and 100.
Mhm.
I
But-
do understand. Excuse me,
No,
Julie.
you're good.
I do understand that. Is it like for dating? Is it like more difficult to date someone in the military versus free? I mean,
No,
in your
that part
experience.
Well, I haven't tried to date anyone in the military in so long. I probably wouldn't even know how to act. Like I said, it was just mutual friends that, you know, his best friend in the military was dating my best friend who was not in the military. So that was like my introduction into that realm. So it wasn't like I'm looking for a military man. You know, you
Okay.
hear in school, you know, like, oh, he's in the military. Yeah, that's the. And I'm just like, for what?
For like good or bad?
Some of it was good, some of it was bad.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like, you know, I know he's in the military, but you know, you hear all these things about military men, you know, or you know, this, that, and the third.
There's a stigma.
There is. Well, back then there was a real big stigma, like
That's what
you
I was gonna say.
don't date, you know, these military men. They're dogs and they cheat on you. And I did not experience that. I didn't experience, not with him. So that was not my experience with him. And so, you know, I take stuff at face value. You have to show me
Right.
that this is you before I can believe it. So, but now it's just, I don't know. It's hard to find the person that you really click with. That you, like you said, because everything has been so virtual and everybody is now, you know, now that everything is opening back up, and it's just finding that mutual space that you all can connect on, you know, besides social media or, you know.
And chemistry and connection is huge, and just the in person. I mean, just even like when you called us, like, hey, I want to get together face to face.
Yeah.
You know, because it's different.
Exactly.
It is.
Because
It's very
you know,
different.
it's mannerisms and the body language and just the
And the
natural
facial expressions.
the chemistry, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
And just imagine, and this is a friendship, a sisterhood. So imagine like romantic.
Right.
Mm.
It can be
Oh,
very
it's-
strange.
Mm,
It's a very
mm.
strange realm.
And for me, it's
yes.
like I'll know off top, like the opposite sex, the
Ladies.
instant.
Yes.
Ladies, Q says dating is just like a marriage. Two people can make the rules that they are comfortable with. Your dating experience is exclusive to you.
Okay. All right, Kia.
I can take that, Kia.
I
No,
agree with that.
that's
So-
definitely true.
Different
Yeah.
strokes,
Yeah.
but different folks.
Hey, hey. Let me and Sony, we
But
love
you
you.
know.
So, what are your do's and
Good
don'ts?
evening, Terrell.
My do's and don'ts. Well, and you know what's so funny when you said that, because you did pose the question, and I actually screenshotted one of the ladies' answers that I thought was really, it's not something that you think about a lot. But when she posted it, I was like, oh my God, that's like a perfect one. So so Angela had posted rudeness to wait staff. When you go out and you're with this, you know, with the person that you're on a date with,
Yes.
and you're just getting to know this person, their actions toward the people that are serving you or waiting on you can be a key factor in this person's mannerism in a
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
I have a story.
Oh, story.
Story time.
Go.
It's about this episode of Good Times. Okay.
Go.
Yes, I am a fanatic. And
I'm sorry.
Okay. In Florida Evans, she got remarried. And the guy that she was dating, they went out to a restaurant. And he was really, really forward because he was like, we're sitting here for like hours and we haven't got our food.
Right.
And so when the waiter brought the food out, you know, Esther was like, no, we're not. No, you know, like she was trying to shush him up. So it ended up him giving her money and letting her go on her way. So that's kind of like the same thing. Okay, I know I just lost you.
Right, because I'm gonna need to see that episode.
It brings back. It just brings back, like, you know, if you. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, y'all. It'd be like that sometimes. But I was talking about. I know what I was talking about. I was talking about dating and the do's and don'ts.
Being rude to the staff.
Being rude.
Being
to the
rude,
staff.
yes.
Okay.
So
Carl was rude to the staff, and Florida was embarrassed because of his behavior.
right. I don't like to be embarrassed.
It could have.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be
it's
put
a
in that
reflection of
place.
if you're with your partner is a reflection of you.
Right.
And so I think it's important where you like for me, I don't have to have all the same beliefs. Values is different, right?
Right.
We can have different views, but how you treat somebody is if you're, and I'm like this not just in the dating world, but my friends, if then you can't be respectful or if you can't conduct yourself in a certain business, a certain way,
Right.
you know, so it's just like mutual respect.
Right.
I
You
guess,
should have. You
know?
should have that anyway.
True.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
Yes.
and the way you treat people is an indication
Right.
of how, you know, whether or not you're single, whether or not, you know, whatever your situation may be, how you treat people.
And it shouldn't matter on their title
You know.
of how you treat.
Exactly.
Right.
And then another
Right.
thing is
That's a good one.
Like
another
Yes.
another thing is stay past the honeymoon phase.
That's why I give 3. I have to give before I go exclusive. I need that probation period.
Yeah,
That 90 days. I mean, they do it for a job, right? Anybody can have good behavior
Yes.
for 30 days.
Well,
it's that consistency for me.
They really say a person really shows themselves 6 months in a day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Mm.
I'm
6
sure.
months in one day.
6 months in a day.
Wow.
I'm sure.
You get the representative.
And
Ooh.
if you have a personality like mine, you ain't got to wait 6 months to see it.
And I'll drink to yeah. But for real, 6 months in a day.
So what are some of the dating do's? So I am, again, like we talked about the love language thing. So the gift thing is not you know, a big thing for me. I think that, you know, flowers and stuff like that is fine.
And again, that's all representative.
Right. Yes.
And
But
and,
I really
and the
official.
and the consistency. Because
Right.
for me, if you start off is how you should go. If you start off for my love language, quality time
Yeah.
and physical touch. If you start off holding my hand, I'm gonna expect that in 6 months. I'm gonna expect that in a year and 6 months. Or 6 years,
Yeah.
or 23
And then
years.
that's not who you
Right.
are.
Right.
Then you're
That's
gonna
gonna show.
and that's
Right.
okay
Mhm.
because sometimes who you are and who I am, we might get along, but we're not romantically compatible. Doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Right.
And you're right, Kia. Being honest initially is so
Yes.
important.
Right.
But a lot of people, they think they're being honest, but they also want you to like them. So they are going to go the extra mile to make sure to say like, hey, this is like, I'm going to give you the better me. So I'm not going to be lazy. I am going to come and open your door because that is a better thing to do, even though they may not really want to. So
Right.
a year and a half
It
into
could-
the
it could be
relationship, they
different.
may not
Right.
do that because that's not who they are. Not to
Right.
say they don't still feel the same way
Same way.
about you.
Right.
Now
But your
let's say
extra
there is
mile-
a right. Now let's say there's a gentleman that's just who he is. So he's going to give you that now, and he's going
Yeah.
to give you that
It has
a year and a
to,
half,
like,
Right.
6
it has
months.
to be
Authenticity,
in
the
him.
authenticity.
your-
So
Right.
It has
because
to
for
be in. It has to be
Right.
like
So
That's
your
what I'm
extra
saying.
amount,
in
Right.
yeah,
Then
but
that's
the
just an
extra
example
amount
that
has
I'm
to be
using.
consistent.
Yes.
That's
So
all.
if
Yes.
you are
That's
going to put that extra amount out
then
there,
you have to
then
be able
you
to keep
have
it
to
up.
be. You got to keep it up. Then
authentic and
have to.
authentic.
But that's
Right.
just who they are. You're getting
So,
that
for
representative for the
me,
first 6 months. So
someone, you know,
you're-
guys
that may not
will-
be who they are. You just
Right.
got to see after.
Well, and then a guy will be like, "What are you looking for?" Right? I'm looking for an old school gentleman, but I'm not going to tell you what an old school gentleman is.
That is
What
something
I'm
you
going to
already know.
say is, I want an old school gentleman, and I'm going to have you show me: is it opening doors?
Mhm.
Is it, you know, call when you say you're going to call, or pick up the tab, or you're going to pull out my chair, or whatever.
Right.
Because what I think a gentleman is will be different from him. Just
Right.
like
Well-
if I say I want someone kind or about the community, I'm not going to say what it means to me, so you can try to fit the
Well,
mold.
guess what?
Gotcha. Yep.
I want to play because, like, I say this all the time. Like, I am usually the different type of woman. And a lot of my friends are guys, because I'll say that as friends. Most guys just want to know what you want. So, and I wish, come on, Terrell, come on, Jesse, come on. Y'all just want to know what we want. So, I want to go get steak if you ask me what I want to eat. If you ask me where I want to go, I want to go bowling.
Well, that's
Right.
different.
I want to go
That's-
see a
But
movie.
that's different
If
than
you
what I'm
ask me
saying.
what I want.
No, that's different than what I. Because if you
I
ask me,
want some $150 perfume if you're asking
well,
what I want for
that's different than
Christmas.
what
I'm just
saying.
asking. I'm
Okay,
just telling you.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
All right, let me bring it back.
That's
Bring it back.
different than what I'm saying. Because I can request if I want. If I want Korean
But I'm
food,
just-
I'm gonna
let's-
say
I'm
it.
just saying,
Right?
but like,
Let's
so when
Yeah,
you
so
when
what?
I ask you what do you want with the
Let's go
gentleman, I
back.
would like for you to open my door.
let's go back.
I
Okay,
would
let's go
like
back.
for you to.
But if that's not who they are, then they're just
Then
gonna
bow
fit.
out
Like, they're
gracefully.
they're gonna fit that mold.
I don't
but
want to change you.
but
I don't
if-
want to change you.
That's
because
why
I bow
that's,
out.
that's why I say gentleman.
Bow
That's
out.
why I say kindness, because what one means to one person is going to be different. And then let me decide if that's who you are. I can decide if we're going to match or not.
Right.
Okay.
No, you
we're
can decide if
to-
you want to meet my. These are the rules and regulations to ride my ride. And if they don't work for you,
Well,
then
for-
there's the door, baby.
Well,
Don't let it hit
in the
you.
beginning,
With
they
a good
could
Lord's
do that.
grace.
In the
That's
beginning,
all.
they could do that.
We gonna,
Yeah.
we gonna sit here. We gonna chill out. Okay. We gonna chill out.
Mama,
We gonna have a moment right here on camera. Okay.
Oh, this is all love. This is sisterhood. This is we talk about what we. This is yeah. Jesse loves y'all smile.
Hi, Herb. Hi, Herb. Hi, Becca. Okay, my moment's over. We're going back to dating. And what is the actual definition of dating, first and foremost? I think we got a little hit of ourselves, but however, okay. Dating. From Google.
Trusted Google. Love it, Google.
Yes, trusted.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is a stage of romantic relationships where two people meet socially with the aim of each assessing the other's suitability as a prospective partner in a future intimate relationship. It represents, I'm sorry.
I'm like, what's that?
It represents a form of courtship consisting of social activities carried out by the couple either alone or with others. So,
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have thought they would have put that part in there.
Oh yeah, I know. It took me a while. It took me a minute to say it, but yeah, it's part of the definition. Dating, a stage of romantic relationship where two people must meet socially with the aim of assessing each other to see if they want to be together.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's dating. So now on to people think that there's just, one type of dating, but there's actually levels to dating. Like there's levels. And doing my research, we have 3 types of dating. 3. Here, all I knew was you just take somebody out and you spend money and you do what you do afterwards.
Right.
But there's levels to this, y'all. Yes. So the 3 types of dating is duty dating.
Duty dating?
Yes.
Yes, please get more.
You're practicing your dating skills, not based on chemistry.
Oh shit, that might be me.
So
It's not based on chemistry. It's what?
it's practicing your dating skills. So I guess
That's why we're not dating.
I
That's why we're not dating.
I never knew that. Okay, so that's something new for me.
I guess it's kind of like
That's stage 1, or that's a type of dating.
It's just a type of
a
dating.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought stage 1. I was like, I ain't never
Oh,
dating.
I ain't never making it. Oh, jeez.
So
No.
the duty dating, that seems to me like, you
You're just going
co-
out just to
you
go
just
out.
going out to cope, and you're practicing your go out skills.
That sounds
My
like
go out skills
randomly.
are solid. I'm good.
That's
I'm good
interviewing
there.
for jobs.
I mean, like you got
Sounds
or a
empty.
lunch date like a work date, a work lunch date.
Is that practice?
Well, I don't call work like dating.
It's a duty.
Yeah.
It's just a practice.
Yeah, it's a practice.
Okay.
All right.
So
Okay,
there's no check on that.
Tony's
one.
still homemade.
What's the
All
second
right.
one?
But there's no chemistry involved. So
Then
okay.
So maybe if you're looking for that 401k that you were talking
Yeah.
about, or when you talk about the 6 figures, that might be like the job
There you go.
application check mark, check mark,
Hey,
check mark.
that would be a duty.
It would be.
Right?
A duty.
Okay.
How to? Yeah.
That would make sense.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
dating and duty don't go together.
It does not. It does
For
not.
some
When she
people,
said that, I was like,
Maybe
oh.
for like the sugar, when they're looking for a sugar daddy or sugar
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want that.
they probably would, because it's not about chemistry. What
Right.
can you
And the
do
co-
for
what
me?
can you
Yeah,
give
it's-
me?
it's
And
about
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So-
about duty.
And what do you want for
obligation.
what you gonna give me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we're
See?
not duty.
No,
doers.
no, no.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's what the definition is, I am no doing that.
Okay, you're not
Okay.
a duty dater.
Anything,
Okay.
Sony?
Are
No, you
a-
good?
are
Look
you-
at Sony's face. She's like, oh my god.
I'm not a duty dater.
Yeah.
Either. Okay. So the next one is real dating.
Real dating.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Real dating.
mutually attracted to someone
Okay.
you go out with. So that's the actual date where you assess and do I like you?
But
Don't
you're
I
still like,
you?
I mean, I like you, but
you
do I
chew too
like
loud, your eyebrows
that
ain't
That's
falling.
nitpicking.
you? I mean,
And
you said nitpicking?
she said you chew too loud.
I mean, that's a real thing.
It is, but at that point when you're saying they chew too loud, you already don't like them.
Exactly, but
So
that,
that
But
is
you
nitpicking.
wouldn't know that.
but the real dating, that's when you find that out. So,
Mm.
You
so
have to
if
have-
you don't like that in real dating, then there won't be no courtship.
There you go. There you go.
And that's the third type of dating,
Courtship.
courtship.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's courtship.
Okay.
Or
You know
Is there chemistry or no chemistry in courtship?
chemistry.
Okay, so the last
Chemistry.
2 were chemistry based.
Pretty much. Real dating.
Oh, it's
Is
called
it-
real dating.
Real dating.
Okay. So date for me.
For a
right?
date date. Yeah, the date date.
Real dating is where you actually find out if there's chemistry.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh,
And then if there is chemistry, it goes into courtship, and that's you are looking for a relationship. Once you start courting,
Yeah.
that means from Google, that means
If Google said it, I mean.
Google said okay, Google said it. That means okay, duty dating is the first one. You're practicing your dating skills, and it's not based on chemistry. I'm gonna say, use my own terminology, it's based on obligation. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Real dating is where you find out whether or not you have that chemistry
have that
or you're
compatibility.
compatible.
Yeah.
And courtship is once you determine everything and you head into a relationship. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, and then in your research,
Yes.
is this done exclusively?
It can be done
Or-
exclusively or with others.
Can you courtship with multiple?
You can, like a double date
No, I mean like, can you?
or a poly something.
Yeah, no, like a courtship, or when I say like multiple people at the same.
At the same function, you mean?
No, like, so before you're exclusive, like, would you courtship like 4 people at the same time, or when you're at courtship, is that more?
Oh, no.
It should be when you're courting is one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
It's
or-
just
what about
you've already
the real
chosen
dating?
that
Okay.
person to be your person.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you asked
That was
that
a good question. That was a good
because
question.
here are the 5 stages of dating.
Okay.
Okay, the first stage is attraction.
That's important.
The second stage is reality,
Mm.
which is
Get the love gloss.
Yeah.
it's kind of uncertain.
Yeah.
The third one is commitment, which is exclusive.
That's my favorite part.
Right, where you're just like, okay, we finna do this.
Yeah.
We finna do the damn thing. It's me and you. That's it.
Yeah.
And number 4 is intimacy.
Mm.
I like that part too.
I know you do.
But not just intimacy as
No, you
in
did.
we doing the thing.
But intimacy, like you really,
Hey, well,
like,
if you're
this
doing it,
is
you better
my-
do it well.
Like my
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to have a person.
yes,
But I
the
don't like
soul.
the dating.
It's based on the soul and not the. Okay.
That part, mom.
So engagement is number 5. Engagement, which means to me like you went through the duty dating, the real dating, the courtship, the intimacy, and the engagement.
So now we're exclusive.
So
This
we're-
is going to be not only from the dating, we're looking at the long term.
The long term, exactly.
The possibility of
Yeah,
long
the
term.
possibility of the
Possibility
long
of
term.
long
Yes.
Like, where
Yes.
do you move from here?
Right. Where are we going? Now we need to set out our plan after this whole what do you call it? The representative stage is
All
over.
right.
I hate that
All right.
stage.
It's not a good place to be stuck at. And after you get like past that 6 months or that
So
1
do you-
year mark, and you're still and you haven't like really sat and discussed that whole, where do we see ourselves from here? Now that we're 1 year, we're exclusive, we're committed to this relationship that we're in. What is our next steps after this? After we have, let everybody know, hell and high water, we finna be together. So, I mean, not saying that it has to like, for me, now I can't speak for nobody else. I can only tell you my truth. I'm not looking for marriage. That is not my end game because I've already been there. I've already done that. Not saying that a marriage is not something that I would ever want again. It's just right now is not something that I would think that I would want right now. I won't say that part. I do not want a husband right now.
What
I've
about
been through that
exclusiveness
stage.
right now?
Yeah, the exclusivity, I can take that. I
Just
can
not
take
that
it just being
partnership
one-on-one.
commitment.
No, not yet.
So what is the what do you when you're in that stage, that
Okay.
dating stage, what would you consider tolerable behavior?
Like she said, chewing too loud. That's something that can be course corrected.
There you go.
This is stuff that can be course
There you
corrected.
go. There you go.
Even though this is a big thing for me, stuff like leaving the toilet seat up.
Ooh.
You know, like,
That's
oh my
amazing.
God, I got a
Yes.
whole teenage man living
The
with
hole
me.
is this big.
I got, oh my God.
God.
Right. So, you know, it's
That's so funny.
you
But
know,
you
it-
can get the toilet seat like I did.
We should have to. I know it's beautiful.
It
but
goes down and it goes down silently all by itself.
right.
You
Those
don't have to
are
worry
things
about
that
it.
are
I'm kind of worried about you.
You are too accommodating.
It's
You
just-
take off the army fatigue. Take it
but
off.
right.
If it bothers me, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna find what's the problem. I guess I think like a guy, right? What's the problem so I can fix it? If
Yeah.
it's the
I
toilet
get
seat,
it,
then I'm just
but-
gonna,
Right.
I'm just.
So those kind of things can be course corrected.
They
Their
can.
taste in
Yes.
music.
They gotta
Yes,
put it
That
up.
has
So
to
put
be
it
something
down.
that is tolerable for me. Even though I listen to everything from country to rock and roll to hard rock and so on and so forth. These are things that I've had to, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Have had to learn to kind of adjust to.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
go ahead, please.
Kia has one.
What
She
you said?
says, "How about that beard, hair dye all over the sink?" But to
What
be
now?
fair, we dye our hair. So her specifically says, "How about that beard, hair dye all over the sink?" Never had
Beard,
that.
I'm
Hair
not
dye.
there yet.
Okay, so I don't know about the beard dye part, but the beard hair in the sink, you know, when they shave or they, you know, trim or that is
In my
that
last
is a
relationship, I
thing.
didn't have to.
Oh my
I don't know
God,
if
that's
he
the
cleaned
thing.
it up
Okay, so
or
Kia,
it
for me,
wasn't a thing
that's
for
the
me.
thing that is just like for real. I mean, you seen all that hair in the sink, right? I know because I walked in here and seen it.
Seen it?
I seen it.
You seen it?
I seen it.
Okay, when you seen it,
You didn't want to clean none of that up. But then in turn, being the makeup queen that I am, there you makeup everywhere. There you makeup everywhere. So those are tolerable things for me because they can be course corrected.
I like that word.
They can be course
what about-
corrected.
What about you? What are some of your tolerable behaviors?
I think Stoney's right. I just too accommodating because I don't. I mean, I got 3 kids with 3 different personalities to where I don't know like a pet peeve because
Mm.
I have hard stops, but I basically would tolerate anything as long as it's not disrespectful.
Okay.
So, and I think it's just because, and I used to do foster care, right? I foster care 23 children. So I've learned to be accommodating. I've learned that we all have our own struggles and our own thing. And I guess I just try to course correct to where I don't, it's not my fight. So I think because of my 3 children with the 3 different personalities and the 23 foster care
Mhm.
children, those aren't the battles I fight.
And I definitely can understand that.
Yeah.
Like I'm I'm me.
You are
That's
you.
all
And our
Right.
experiences make it who we are, and that's why I believe there's somebody for everybody.
Gotcha.
I'm a believer of that, and I don't think there's just one person.
Yeah.
I think if anybody that's willing to put in the work, you can make anything work, but both have to give 100%.
Right.
That's it.
Yes.
For
Definitely.
For me, tolerable.
Yeah. I don't think on this.
I'm not gonna say nothing is tolerable.
Mm.
Okay, for me, nothing is tolerable. I tolerate a lot of stuff.
I just love you.
And Lauren is extra innings.
I tolerate a lot of stuff, but nothing is tolerable. As far as deal breakers go, like I for myself, I really need to be able to have an intellectual conversation.
Yes.
That you have to be
Yeah.
stimulated.
Yes.
Mentally,
I
you
love
can't
that.
stimulate me sexually.
I
The
can
only
do
way
that by
you get, the
myself.
only way, all right.
I can do that by myself. Thank y'all.
The only way you get down there is you get to the mind.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh. I like that.
yes. So, you're, I'm,
What?
okay. I'm not right up here today, y'all.
What? What you got for me?
Look.
What you got for me?
What are your deal breakers? Some of
Lies.
your deal breakers.
Lies
We
and
are on the same
disrespect.
page.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
it. Because the thing is, I'm so accommodating and I will put up with so much. Tell me so we can tell me the truth. And if we're not on the same page, I'm a fixer. Let's fix it. Let's get it right. It's good, bad, and the ugly. I don't care. I will stand by you
As long
as you give me the respect and you just are honest with me. Because then we can work through it.
Right.
I don't care how bad it is.
Yeah.
See, and I, to a certain extent, I can't agree with you, but like I said, nothing is tolerable. Oh, I just tolerate.
She just said her ways.
Okay.
She just said her ways.
What are your? Some
I
of
am
your-
gonna definitely jump on that one. Lies is a big thing. Just coming out of what I come through just here recently is just the narcissism is a deal breaker for me.
I didn't even know what that was.
Not taking ownership, that is a deal breaker for me.
Oh, man.
You can't blame everybody else for what you do.
Oh man.
And definitely lying. You lie to people that you're scared of. And if you feel that I am someone that you need to be afraid of, then we already don't need to be in a relationship.
What about they're just scared of themselves?
They're scared of themselves. They're scared of
who
the
they are.
reaction. I mean, but you got that is
It becomes an internal issue.
right. But would you
Exactly.
rather take that initial reaction and then, like Julie said, and fix it from there, then try to build on top of your lie to where you forget what the original lie was?
And you can't prove a lie. You can prove the truth.
Right.
So just tell me the truth. And you know us. If we ask him, we already
We
know.
already know.
Yes.
I already know the whole
I
truth.
mean,
So
now we're trying to see if you're trustworthy.
Right.
Are you honest? Where's your integrity at?
Yeah.
What's your core? What's the values?
So if you ask us a question, just know that we already know the answer.
Right.
We just want to know if you're going to be trustworthy and honest about whatever you need to be
And
trustworthy.
It could be
and honest
their
about.
internal demons, but
right.
let's
Yes.
work it out together.
Right.
I will work it out with
Right.
you. I will work it out with you.
Yes.
But some are scared to show you those demons. Are scared to
Because-
show you that reality.
Well,
You know what they are really
it's not,
going
I don't really
through.
think it's showing us their demons. I think it's them revealing their own demons.
Mhm.
So is this during dating or once
can
we
be.
get
It
into
definitely
You don't know.
can
Like
be.
Stoney said, 6 months and 1 day.
Right.
I'm thinking back in past relationship, and I'm like,
Wait a
dude,
minute.
that's
Yeah.
like
That is like that's right on the money.
on,
Yeah.
almost spot on. And it just like gave me chills. Like, you know what, first 3 months, okay, yeah, there was a shift.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 months, it was like
Oh,
the you know, the deal breakers
Yeah.
started coming out.
yes,
Right.
yes.
And then they flat out
Right.
just started just.
And everything is distorted. And it's
Yeah.
sad because you really were willing to give your everything
Right.
to this person
Right.
and be there no matter what.
And then you're like, no, I can't. No.
And that's
Right.
that's
Like,
the
wow.
sad part because you
Yep.
really, when you get to that point, you really want it.
Right.
You
Exactly.
really want it.
Do we have any comments? can take one
6
or two.
months, 1 day. That's so true. Yes, Kia. And narcissism is difficult to recognize initially.
It is.
Yes.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
I didn't even know what. I mean, I didn't even 6 months ago. I don't even know if I even really knew what
Narcissist
that
love.
meant until other people like started, definitions. What's the other one? Gaslighting that everybody started talking about. I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I'm
Right.
thinking, I want my gas to be light.
No, you do not. You do not want that.
I'm just like, what's this?
Like, you do not want
I'm
that.
sorry, y'all.
But yeah, so I mean, it's
No, that's bad.
so everybody has their deal breaker.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody, even if it's one of those the tolerable behaviors that are not course corrected, can be deal breakers for some people. Because it's like, okay, I've told you that this is not something that I like, but you constantly
So
do
it could be not just
So
the
it could-
act,
that's
right.
a level of
It's the
that's a
consistent
level of
act.
respect
Right.
being
Right.
dismissed and
Yes.
being
Right. And so,
disrespected
and then
at
it
some
goes to the
point.
point like, oh, you didn't hear me? So now we're on a level of now we got to fight this out
Yes.
because you obviously, when I said it, you chose not to hear me.
it's the principle.
Well,
Well, you're
chose
not,
not
you're
to
not
acknowledge.
listening to me.
Yeah,
so
right.
Now
So
it's
you
something
it's
that
the
needs to be
prince-
done.
So
It's the
you crossed
principle.
my boundaries because you disrespected me by doing what I asked you not. You know what? That's another show, y'all.
Yes, it would be nice to hear back from some of our viewers.
Yes.
It would be nice to get some topics for next week's show.
Yes.
It was really
Especially
nice to
our
hear from you,
gentlemen. We
Shantae.
would really like to hear
Really
from
loved that you guys are personal with us.
Thank
We
you,
really,
baby.
really appreciate
y'all.
it.
I love you.
Love you more. Love you too.
Mwah.
Thank you so much, Mom, for last week getting so personal. And Julie Girl.
Yay. Julie
Did
Girl
not
next.
forget about you.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I haven't even
you
done
are
that the whole
next
time.
Yes, look at
Damn,
you.
Julie
Yes.
Girl.
With that being said, we do have a few shout outs we would like to.
Woo.
So, Shantae, you are first.
Yeah, so I am going to shout out Tiffany Lindsay, Finesse for You Boutique LLC.com. She has an amazing clothing boutique, you guys, right in Tacoma. That is downtown. And she also has her whole online store. Amazing woman in business. She is my sister. She's my sister in business. She is my sister in life. She loves my chocolate baby, right? This is her thing with him. I love you more than your mother.
That's love.
Every time she sees him,
That's love.
just a great woman in business. So I would like to give her a shout out tonight.
That's what's up.
For
Shout
sure.
out to Tiffany.
Yay.
We gonna see
Right.
you. We gonna see you at an event very soon.
Very soon. Yes.
Very
Right,
soon.
who else do we have? Mom, who you have?
I got Ray Bays. She's a shout out. I'm shouting her out because she's a personal chef and she's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She's a personal chef and a catering. She has her own business, personal chef, catering, services, entertainment, and she's certified Le Cordon Bleu certified.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, she is a traveling chef. So I got the goods, you know. So just
And
this
she is a
Ray
really great
Bays.
friend, and I've had
Yes.
all of her products. So
Yes.
if you have eating restrictions, she also is a dietitian.
And if
So-
you like infused foods, she also has infused foods as well.
Awesome.
Personal, entertainment, you name it, she can do it.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Where's she out of?
She's out of Pittsburgh,
Oh,
but she does
Pittsburgh.
travel.
Yes, she does travel.
Okay.
Also, I want to give a shout out to my first ladies. They got businesses. I do apologize that I'm not up here right now, but I'm gonna tell my ladies to introduce their businesses, and we're gonna take it from there. So
Okay. Oh, me, her.
yes,
I mean, right here.
yes,
Her.
yes.
Well, you guys know me. I am Shantae Cherie. I have ssboutiquewa.com. I have a accessories, hair and jewelry accessories company that I built and manage and And I was actually working on my website when Julie texted me like, I'm on my way. I was like, oh shit. We got stuff
I
together.
was on time.
Right. She was on time today, y'all. I was not. So jump on my website. I do events all over Washington State. So I'll make sure that I post them. You guys can friend me, for sure. And
What can they friend you under?
Shantae Shelby is my name you'll see me post in shop culture. But yeah.
Okay, how about you, my Julie girl?
Well, first I'd like to shout out Jesse Allen. He caught the live last week and donated some beats for us.
Yay!
So,
Thanks,
He's the only
Jesse!
brother that we're actually shouting out for Women's Month, so thank you. He is our brother.
Yes,
with,
thanks,
a
Jesse.
producer with the Dynasty, and we'll have that as an intro.
All
Next
right.
Coming
Nice.
soon,
Yes.
The original. He said vibey and jazzy and fun.
So that's what
I
we
love
are.
it.
Yes, and
That's
so
what we
and
are.
then my business is Julie Girl photographer, and I just like to tell your story. So if I can tell your story, if you got a story to tell, I want to document that. Freeze time.
Awesome.
Awesome. And
Anybody else?
if there's anybody, I'm just gonna shout out. I'm just gonna shout out Kia.
I love you.
Kia, she is actually getting her craft business back up. Kia, hit me up when you
Yes,
when
we
you
would
got
love to
some
shout
time.
you out,
Yes,
sis.
definitely. Also, Coco, I'm gonna shout you out every week. I'm hoping you got a little rest this past week. But I ain't gonna tell nobody.
She ain't gonna tell nobody. But
I ain't
she'll
gonna tell nobody.
Yes,
And
everybody.
I also want to shout out Barry Crosby and Shop Culture, because without them, this platform would not be available
Awesome,
or
yes.
possible.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry.
And the last shout out goes to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You got some cool people up there, and you know who I'm talking to when I'm shouting you out. So love y'all. Stay blessed. And on the end of that note, we'd like to thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your
And-
comments and
guys.
stuff. We love your
Thank you.
engagement.
Yes. Love the engagement. Please continue to interact in the group.
Share.
Topics, whatever topics you want to hear, we're willing to listen. So on that note, stay blessed, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you.